Check, 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 check. Not really anything smoothed out. Maybe we'll do one. Nah. Yeah, you don't get much snow, lake effect snow in New Jersey. Yeah, here, I'll get started in 1 second. I'll let some people get in here real quick. Let me actually see something. Yeah, I could also do coverage like this. All right. Let me actually add another display option. Display capture. All right, let me shrink this down and have this fit. Boop. Let's do this. Actually, honestly, let's move this way back down to the bottom. I'm fixing my stream setup live. We're just gonna, oops, not gonna do that. Wait, what? What did I just do? We want this one. Oh no, we want this one above. Okay, then we're gonna pull. We'll get a nice little setup here. That'll do. Let's get this in the center of my screen. Okay. What's going on? There's no alerts. So we'll stay on this screen right here. This is gonna be a quick live, guys. This is gonna be a quick live. Quick live. Volume seems low. What of my hold up here, there we go. Music volume does, or voice volume? I turned down the volume a little bit on the desktop audio, so. Alrighty, there we go. All right, what questions do we have? By the way, here's our latest snow total projections. Let's put this down here. From the latest Euro. 12's a Euro. 12's a Euro that just came out. It's going to be tough for Omaha to get snow. Probably not. Probably all sticking up there just to the north. I mean, look. Here's the snow that's trying to push down into the back end of Omaha. Let's actually go to a single site radar here. Winter weather. So here's that snow that's trying to push into Omaha. You got a little bit of a warm face sitting right over Omaha. So you're going to get a lot of snow potentially up through Sioux City, northeastern Nebraska, but yeah, probably not Omaha. Not pushing down quite far enough yet. Look at the Des Moines. Des Moines going to be close too. Des Moines may get some of this back end snow, but it's going to be tight. It's going to be that. Michigan's expected to get snow, yeah. I mean, we can even look at the latest models on here. Convection allowing HRRR. You guys want to take a look at the latest HRRR model. Here, we'll go to... Actually, we could probably even do our 12Z. And let's see if I can get into my winter weather here. Precipitation type. All right, here's the latest HRRR model. Okay. Moving forward. Trying to bring some snow into Milwaukee. Chicago looks like it's mostly rain. Maybe it switches right on the back end. But here, to see, let's get into our 12Z so we can see out a little bit farther. Here's our 12Z. It wants that to be snow rain on the front end into Detroit, and then it wants it to kind of transition into snow there. You can see. Sorry, let me zoom out so you guys can see better. As we get out there, it starts to transition into snow. So, why does that look smoothed out? Let's make sure that there's no smoothing on that. There we go. See that? And then look at all this snow that wants to flood the Ohio Valley. Not a ton, but early in the season, this is a lot. Anyways, I just want to show live radar on here. This is what's going on. This is where our snow is currently. Moving across portions of southern Minnesota and northwestern Iowa. And... oh god, come on, Radar Omega. This is why I don't like Radar. This is why I never use Radar Omega anymore, because it just lags so much. It is so laggy. It is so bad. Here, let's switch out of here. Let's switch back. There we go. New Jersey snow, not with this system. Early December looks very cold and snowy for the east, though. You'll get some more. I mean, the portions of the Mid-Atlantic and Northeast are going to remain cold through November. Portions of the Northeast and Mid-Atlantic are going to remain cold through November. We really continue to see a lot of cold air funneling out into this region. Anyways, though, let's look at this. This is the latest Euro. Okay, so this is the 12Z that just came out. It's actually pushing snow much farther west than I thought. This is kind of a newer development. You got like almost a ½ inch that wants to show up in western Kentucky. I'm not sure I buy that. I kind of do buy this 6 to 12 inches. Northwestern Indiana, I think we're going to have a crazy lake effect there. Chicago, now suddenly Chicago wants to get a few inches again. 3, 4, 5 inches on the latest Euro. So that's pretty interesting. Going to our latest... let's take a look at some of our latest models. We have the... we'll go into our HRRR 12Z. Still likes about 5 inches into Chicago. I don't know if it's gonna get that much. And then about a foot into northwestern Indiana. About, you move east in Indiana, you're still up there 5, 6, 8 inches. I didn't say it. Cleveland looks like it wants to get some good snow as well. And then again, the HRRR spreading that snow out into the Ohio Valley down here to the south. A little bit up there through inner New England. Let's take a look at the latest NAM 3K. Quick stream, I just wanted to give some snow updates today. Good news for people in Chicago is a lot of these new models do like snow for Chicago. Good snow for Chicago. So it's quite the uptrend, I would say, for Chicago. Still a chance the band doesn't set up right and you get none, but I'd say this is quite the uptrend for Chicago. Taking a look at the Rufus. The Rufus doesn't like any snow into Chicago, though. So hopefully, for you who want snow in Chicago, hopefully the Rufus is wrong for you. Again, though, the Rufus is seeing almost 16 inches of snow into northwestern Indiana. I found this very interesting. You guys want to see something interesting? Oh, and then I'll get the questions. Look at the high-end snowfall projections for Chicago. Let me know if you guys can read... let me know if you guys can read this. Can you guys read that amount? Can you guys read this, what it says there? This is from the National Weather Service. They said if the snow banding sets up in the correct area, Chicago could get 18 plus inches of snow. But that's a big if. It's a big if. What do they expect? They're expecting from the National Weather Service. This is from the National Weather Service. When you watch national weather, when you watch the news, this is where they're getting their information from. They think, and of course it's frozen. They think with the expected amount, Chicago's going to see, and it's not showing anymore. Oh my God, why does every website have to be trash? and now we're not showing anymore. Anyways, this color blue is about 4 to 6 inches. So they're expecting 4 to 6 inches into Chicago and thinking high end you could get about 18. I don't know why it's not showing up now. Look, it's like usually where I put this, it would show up. This is just their website being trash, but that's okay. I'm used to this stuff. All right. So low end, look at the low end. The low end, they think Chicago could get a dusting. That's quite a range. Low end to 18 inches. What do you guys think? If you want to look at high ends for, what is going on with this website? High ends for up here in northwestern Indiana, we're seeing high ends up there near 20 to or up near 30 inches. They think the high end for northwestern Indiana. South Bend, they're thinking high end could be up there near somewhere between 12 to 18 inches as well. This is high end. I don't expect us to see high end. They're also saying Cleveland high end could get a foot of snow. Erie high end could get a foot of snow. Oh, look, it's suddenly back. Yeah, they're saying Michigan City 22 inches. Chicago high end 18 and a half. Chicago expected amount. It just takes forever to come up. You can see the high ends down into the Ohio Valley. The high end Cincinnati snowfall, they're thinking about 5 inches. I'm show you high end, then I'm going to go over more realistic what I think. This is what could happen. Very small chance though. This would be like best case scenario for you guys. Columbus 3 to 4 inches. Indianapolis maybe 4 inches high end. You got Fort Wayne 4 to 5 inches. So Dayton, Ohio, you got like 4 inches on the high end, guys. This is high end. Pittsburgh 4 inches, and this is from the National Weather Service. I was thinking Asheville could get an inch on the high end, and then looking up here, I know people were asking me about Boone. Yeah, Banner Elk. I think Boone's up here near Banner Elk, a few inches. Bryson City could get up there as well, a few inches. Looking up here towards Syracuse, high end 5 inches. Rochester high end 4 inches. Buffalo high end 10 inches. So, hey, look at this. Baltimore high end 2/4 of an inch or 2/10 of an inch. Louisville high end almost 3 inches if you get super lucky here. Lexington almost 3 inches if you get lucky. And then Nashville maybe a dusting if you get lucky. So this is what it's looking like. Now let's go into our expected amounts, and then I'll start taking questions. Here's our expected amounts from the latest update from the National Weather Service. Columbus, about 1.5 inches. Indianapolis, about 1 inch. Chicago, about 4 inches. Detroit, wow, they really think that this could, 1.5 inches expected, but you could get more than that. Erie, we're looking like 5 to 8 inches through Erie, expected amount over the next 72 hours. Lexington, Kentucky, potentially you get up to 1 inch. That's what it's thinking. Wow, that'd be interesting, wouldn't it? Let's see. Cleveland, expected few inches. So Milwaukee, we're talking 1.5 inches. This is Kenosha, 3.5 inches. Okay, anyone want to name their city here? We'll go over this, and then I'm going to go over why, and then we'll take questions. But this is the latest from the National Weather Service. So once you get within 72 hours, they'll average their models and give you kind of the best outlook here. This is not the high end. This is the expected amount. Columbus, Ohio, yeah, about 1.2 inches. Chicago, expected amount, 3 to 4 inches. Could be less, could be more. The high end, if a band sets up correctly, you're going to see over a foot of snow in Chicago, but you need that band to set up correctly. I see Grand Rapids, Michigan. We're thinking about 2 to 3 inches. And I'll tell you if I think that there's some of this that I'll tell you that I think is probably not correct from the National Weather Service because I've seen the latest updates. But if it's correct, I'll tell you I think it's correct. Buffalo, New York. Buffalo, New York, 1.5. You could end up getting, I think, Buffalo, New York a little bit more snow than that. Cleveland, same with Cleveland. They have Cleveland at 2 to 3 inches of snow. It all depends on the banding. Cleveland, if you get a good band setting up over you Monday morning, as those winds become more westerly, you could end up getting a little bit more than that, more than 2 to 3 inches. Midland, what? There's a Midland in like 5 different states. Raleigh, North Carolina, we're not expected to see anything. On the high end, do we get any snow out there? They don't expect any. South Bend, Indiana, expect it totals now 8 inches. Your high end totals, if things go haywire here and you get a good band setup over you could see over a foot of snow easily in South Bend. Jacksonville, Florida, nothing. But it's what's funny is if we do look at high end, we are seeing snowfall into northern Georgia, which is crazy for early November. Yeah, Chicago, again, Chicago expected right now is 3 to 4 inches with the latest update. All right, Jasmine, I'm gonna keep answering those questions. Jasmine, confused, Marissa, B was popping, and Gavin, KJ, Sarah, what's going on, guys? Clinton, Iowa. All right, where's Clinton, Iowa here? If it's a city that I might not know, say like northeastern Iowa, or say like northeast, southeast, east central. Like, tell me where it is. Where's Clinton, Iowa? Hello, Clinton, are you here? I feel like I should know where Clinton, Iowa is, shouldn't I? Wait, oh, so I think someone answered. Oh, the nose of Iowa? Is this the nose? Oh, yeah, Clinton. Expected to see maybe a dusting to a 1/4 inch. Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh expected total. A 1/2 inch to 1 inch. High end, if things go your way, you guys could get up to 3 inches on the high end if things go your way. But if they don't, I think you're probably at least going to see a dusting of snow on the ground there. Rockford, Illinois. Again, okay, well, there's Rockford. That's easy to find. 1/2 inch is the expected high-end amount. Again, if things go your way, you could see 2.5 inches. Don't worry, I'll do more than just read from the NWS, but I'll be streaming here for about another 10 more minutes. Then I got to get off. Let's see. Columbus, Ohio. We're thinking 1.5 inches. Erie, PA. Expected 6 inches. Again, high end Columbus. High end Erie, you could see up. You could see a foot. High end Columbus, you could see like 4 to 5 inches. What's the high end for Western New York? High end for Western New York out here, we're seeing 8 to 12 inches out here in far Western New York. Rochester, high end, we're seeing maybe 4 to 5 inches. Kind of northern upstate New York, we're seeing 8 to 12 inches too high end, but that's super high end. Alexandria, Kentucky. I'm not sure where Alexandria, Kentucky is. But you can see right here, central to eastern Kentucky on the high end is going to see 2 to 3 inches. The expected amount central to eastern Kentucky is a dusting to 1 inch. Long Island is not expected to see any with this, unfortunately. Virginia, we're not expected to see much, but if you did the high end, maybe a dusting through Richmond, maybe a little bit out here on the foothills, Western Virginia. High end Chicago. 18 inches is the high end, which is crazy. And yes, it would stick. The air would be more than cold enough for it to stick. Yes. Your surface temperatures, even though they're warm right now, they would drop super, super, super quick. The air is so cold up top that your surface temperatures would drop quick enough to stick. Lincoln, Nebraska. You guys already have some snow flying into Lincoln, right? I mean, so you guys already have the storm's already moving through northeastern Nebraska and northwestern Iowa. Where's Lincoln? I'm having, okay, there it is. I don't know why I forget such obvious cities sometimes. Yeah, it's gonna be tough. It thinks you could get a dusting on the high end, but probably not gonna see any. Yeah, Pittsburgh expected is about 1 inch on the high end. You could get 3 inches. Albany, New York, dusting expected. High end, still only about a dusting. Not expecting more than that. Detroit, it's expecting about 1.5 inches on the high end. If you guys get some, if the storm's set up correctly, it thinks on the high end Detroit could get 6 inches, but they're really only expecting about 1.5 inches in Detroit. So, guys, I want to stay on later. I'm gonna be streaming again later. This was like a quick 20-minute stream. I'm gonna be able to get back on stream at around 5, but I have to get off now. I have priorities. So I appreciate you guys jumping in here. I'll be back on later, and we're gonna go over all this stuff and updated totals and all that stuff. I post every day. I stream every single day. So If you follow, turn on the notification bell, subscribe, you'll see me come back on later. We're going to talk about all this stuff. I love winter storms, and I'm going to be covering all of them. Sorry this was a quick stream and I couldn't answer more questions.